you and I both know you ain't got all the time in the world. As a matter of fact, you're confused from turning a viewer into an actual student, a client, a customer for your online fitness program. As a matter of fact, it's stopping you from being able to have a life of freedom by making money online. And I'm here to clear up any confusion that you have. So you want to stay for this whole entire video because the principles that I'm sharing with you not only made me over 6 figures in the fitness niche, but I figured that after investing over $12,000 in mentorships and realizing what actually brought my sales up off of what's working now, that I was going to share it with you. Because most fitness coaches that teach fitness businesses and how to run them, they're teaching them off of systems that worked years ago. And the problem with that is technology, it changes faster than you can blink your eye. So I'm here to share these principles with you. You want to stay for the whole entire video because principle number 3 is the most important. The question for this whole entire video is how webinars 10x'd my program sales. I'm going to share my screen so we can get straight to the point. The first principle is the more people you talk to, the bigger the potential for sales. We see this a lot in Super Bowl commercials. Obviously, Super Bowl commercials, you've heard before, they cost a lot of money. Now, let me ask you a question. Why do you think they cost so much money to advertise at a Super Bowl commercial? Probably because there's a lot of people watching, right? Exactly. The more eyeballs that see your product or your service, in this case, your online fitness program, the more likely you are to get more sales, to get more income. And that's a good thing because you're running a business. You're not an influencer. So this means you need to be able to build a community off of social media. No, we're not going to advertise for the Super Bowl. What we're going to do is advertise our community. And not just any community, a free community that gives more value. You see, the biggest problem that I had seen when I was in the fitness niche is I was taught by my mentors, and no shame to them, but give away as much value as possible in your content so people can build trust and they can know you, like you, and trust you. And then when they're ready, they'll DM you or you can reach out to them and you can book a call with them and hopefully get a sale for your program. The problem with that is they have GPT now. They don't need you to write out a meal plan because they can just ask ChatGPT. What people value now is community. You ask me why? Well, I'm glad you asked. The reason why is because information is more accessible than anything now in today's age with GPT. I mean, you can ask GPT to create a meal plan for you and then create a grocery list with hyperlinks to each and every single ingredient at your local grocery store, and it will. So no longer do we need someone to tell us each and every little bit and where to get it from. They don't need you to tell them all the details when it comes down to a workout or losing weight. What they value, and when I say they, I mean the viewer, is a community, something they can belong to. Information just literally got that much easier to access. So now what people value more is that experience that they can go through, that transformation. It's important for you to have a free community, not only because it's going to 10x your sales and lead people to your webinars, but it's also a way for you to build a community that lasts longer than an algorithm trend or longer than any short form piece of content can last. As a matter of fact, even if you're uploading on YouTube, your community can literally be their safe place. And when you allow your free community to give so much value to your viewer that has literally became a community member, they will never forget that attachment. It's one of the reasons why I stayed in my community that was for online fitness business coaches. Okay. Well, not online fitness business coaches, but I was in another community about 3 to 4 years ago, and it was showing fitness coaches, literally what I'm doing. It was showing fitness coaches how to run a profitable online business. And I stayed in that for 2 years. I only had to stay in there for a year. I stayed in there actually for 2 years and a half because of the community. I built relationships with so many people and built good friendships in that community that I didn't want to leave. I saw people win. I saw people struggle, and that just gave me so much more meaning off of where I was in my life. And it was so encouraging, but I also got a ton of value. I also got a ton of value to the point where if I was struggling with something, then I could get custom advice, not something that was just posted or uploaded or something GPT spat out. Okay. So a community pays you well, just like how these businesses out here they advertise and pay millions of dollars to have a Super Bowl commercial. Now, principle number 2 is that much more interesting because it's going to knock down a belief that you were probably raised on that we need to delete from your brain. This is to do less and make more. That sounds lazy as hell, right? Well, what if I told you that in the same situation, at once upon a time, there was a such thing called a horse, but then somebody came up with the idea of, you know what? Instead of creating or trying to recreate a faster horse, let's just create something different called a car. And the car runs off of gas. And you don't have to feed it grass. You don't have to feed it water. I mean, yeah, you might have to maintain it, but hey, at least a car can go faster than a horse. Now, granted, back then, maybe a car didn't go as fast as a horse. I'm not here to argue about that. What I am saying is innovation. In the same way, the car now everybody drives a car. Nobody rides a horse, at least to go to the grocery store and go to work, right? Well, what if I told you that now instead of people just looking at cars as transportation, you have something, and I think is really cool. You got Tesla out here creating cybercabs. Okay. Now, it's not a popular thing yet, but it's a self-driving car without a steering wheel, a gas pedal, and I believe without a brake. Now, it sounds dangerous and it might take years and years and years for society to get used to this, but I promise you, one day it's going to become a norm. In the same way, we have to understand that these are systems. At the end of the day, a horse, a car, and a cybercab that drives itself is just another form of transportation. It just got more advanced. In the same way, we need to understand as online fitness coaches that owning an automated system that converts a viewer into a customer or into a student, I like using student, literally takes the weight off our shoulders. Okay? You should not be in the DMs all day in order for you to make $5,000 to $10,000 a month. You do not want to be on phone calls all day for you to make $5,000 to $10,000 a month. You do not want to be waiting all day for somebody to respond to your messages and accidentally leave you on red. I know, because I've been there before. It's like, dang, what are they doing? They were just messaging me. But you don't know what these people are doing when you're wasting all that time waiting for them to respond back. An automated system literally gets plugged into your webinar, allowing other viewers to become buyers by either automating your webinar, meaning you record it once and they get to replay it over and over and over again. But instead of them watching it a million times, they only watch it once. But when new viewers see your webinar, they go through the same process and they either decide to buy or not buy. Or in the same way, you could literally just have an automated process where people join your free community and then they have a way inside your free community to join your paid community. This is an automated process. You will literally have notifications on your Apple Watch and on your iPhone letting you know you got paid money while you were doing less. That's why I say make more, do less. Okay? Or do less, make more. I just said it backwards, but whatever. All right. So principle number 3 is the glue to all of this. We need to understand if you want to make sales, if you want to make money by doing less and making more, and if you want to understand how webinars actually 10x my income, you got to understand in your webinar, you want to show the what, not the how. And you want to do the same thing in your content as well. Let me explain. If you've watched this far, you've obviously been experiencing the what, not the how. I'm not showing you how to create a webinar. I'm showing you what a webinar did for me and what principles I learned through the mistakes and the things that I learned after investing into myself and spending years of struggling as an online fitness coach. What I learned, principles change people's perspectives. For example, if we have an Apple Watch advertisement, if you've ever seen an Apple Watch advertisement or commercial, you know that all you see are people using the watch, doing it during a workout or setting a timer or checking their heart rate. Apple doesn't show what's inside the watch and break it down and be like, well, this is the sensor for this, and this is the sensor for the heart rate, and this is the sensor for the EKG, and this is the sensor to make sure that, we check no, they don't do that. I mean, they do it in something called a WWDC, But if you've never heard of that, you're not like, there's nothing wrong with you. It's literally because nobody cares. I mean, I care because I'm a nerd at heart, but a WWDC just breaks down all those things that, they're doing and that they're announcing and how it works and all the details. But on the front end, when they put out their commercials to the masses, they just show you not how, but they show you what the Apple Watch does in your life, not the how. And so in the same way, we want to make sure when we have a webinar, we end up sharing what happened when you learned the right way. Okay. When you learn the right way to lose weight, when you learn the right way to do this exercise in the gym, when you learn the right way to follow a diet without having restricted foods. Okay. And what that does is it makes people question, wow, if they were able to learn what they needed to do, then I need to learn how to start like they started. And you want to sell the how. The how is all the boring stuff. This is what I did on day 1. This is what I did on day 2. All the little tactical, practical things that honestly, you don't want to post on your content. Because number one, when you upload content on social media, YouTube and Instagram, most people aren't going to follow that advice. And that's because they're not up there to change their lives. They're up there to be entertained or informed. Unfortunately, information doesn't change anyone. It's about transformation. It's about realizing you're in a certain position in a specific pain, but them understanding that they need to change. Your job as the online fitness coach creating content is to change their identity. You need them to question themselves. If I knew what it took to get this result, lose weight, build muscle, feel confident, then why am I not there yet? And that kind of attacks their belief. It's like, well, I don't know. So how do I find out? And you sell the how. How do I lose weight? How do I build muscle? You sell the how. The how is your program, because that's the part that changes their identity once they start, because now they're a part of something they've never been a part of. And this is literally how webinars 10x my income, because it went from just uploading on Instagram to actually using Instagram and YouTube to fuel a community that was free for a webinar that was free, that showed the what, not the how, and sold the how to have people have that transformation that they saw I went through when I learned the what. If that kind of like made you think deep, you might want to listen to that last part again, because once you unlock those principles and you understand the power of webinars, then your income will start to rise. And I just want to say real quick that you can join my Passion to Profit community, which the link to that is in the description down below. It's completely free. And I'll show you exactly where to start as an online fitness coach to use these same systems that I've used to help me make over 6 figures and get freedom. All right. I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.